Hi, it's Yaya Diamond, and welcome back to my channel. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also hit the notification ding 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 bell so that you know when I'm going to be up, when I upload the next time. Now, we left off on a very hard situation for Jane. Now, I know that most people don't really like these kind of stories, but I do. I like real to life stories, and Jane is somebody that's, wow, she's going through some stuff. So we left her off at, will she make the phone call? She's going to be a single parent living in the middle of nowhere with no job, no money. She can't leave her kids. She can't really get a dog. I mean, there's a lot of different things going on in her life. But I think that the next episode is going to kind of shed light on the phone call and what Jane is going to do. So let's begin. The children were back to their books, sitting down reading. Well, at least, the daughter was. And I think that June was really kind of thinking, she was like, I don't really know what to think about this. She wasn't she wasn't too old, kind of, but she was kind of old enough to understand that this situation wasn't so good for her mom. But her brother didn't really understand it. He was back to video games because he was so young. But Jane went outside. She couldn't really face her children, and she had to regroup. So Jane, when she went outside, she was like, do I make the phone call? Do I not make the phone call? A lot of things was going through her head, and she just really had to figure it out. Being a single parent, a mother to 2 children, living in a trailer in the middle of nowhere that wasn't even your trailer, it's a hard situation. And I don't think it's one that she would really want to go through by herself. Her husband said to her before she left that he would leave and that he probably would not be calling on them to join him. What did he mean by that? Well, I mean, all these things are going through her head, and she's like, well, do I take this seriously? Do I really think that he just kind of up and left? I mean, he took all his clothes. Everything he owned is gone. It's like he never even existed. What should she do now? Well, Jane was outside pacing and pacing and pacing, and she's trying to just kind of, she was having this war within herself. I should call. No, I shouldn't. I really should call, because if I called, then my children would be fine and I would be fine. Everything would be good. I know that I have a home to go to if I really truly needed it. But why did she leave in the first place? Well, I should have never left in the first place. Because of who she chose to be with, that was the reason why she was in the situation that she was in. And let's go back a little bit. Let's go back to Jane's history. See, Jane was the daughter of the Ruthermeyers. The Ruthermeyers were very wealthy, well-to-do people. They had all of their ancestors' money and then some. All the businesses were passed down to them. They never really had to work to do anything. And Jane was different. She wanted to do this thing on her own. Jane wanted to progress on her own. She wanted to live on her own. She wanted to make her own money. She wanted to know what it felt like to be on her own and to actually do something on her own. And when she met her current husband, Chris, it was like, there it is. Me and Chris, we're gonna do this. We're gonna have this. We're gonna progress. And the 2 children came, and it was like life hit them. Tragedy, recession. They lost everything. And so they moved into the woods, into this abandoned trailer. They fixed it up as good as they could. And Chris got a job, and things were going okay. I mean, they weren't great, but at least they weren't out in a tent somewhere. I mean, they found a place, but it was temporary. It was always supposed to be temporary, but now things look pretty permanent because He's gone. And will he really live up to his word by sending money back? Now, see, June knew something about Chris that the children didn't know, and that was that Chris liked to gamble and drink, and he loved women. And because June was so young, and Josh, Jane couldn't bring herself to tell the children that there was a problem in paradise. I think she made up her mind at that moment that she knew. She knew what the answer was. She was a Ruthermeyer. True and true, she was a Ruthermeyer. She quit college. She left. She had kids. But her life is still waiting for her. When she left, her parents told her, this will always be your family. This will always be your home. And no matter what, you will always have a home to come to. But see, there's another thing. The phone call. How do you make a phone call to people that you told you were going to go out on your own? You were going to do this. You were going to make it. You were going to be successful. How do you make that phone call? How do you say, my husband left me with the kids and I have no place to go? And how do you say he said he won't return and won't call for you? And then he took everything he owned and he left. And not only did he leave, but the little money that they did have was gone too, because she checked. So Jane had no choice. She had no choice. This was a no-win situation for her. And I think Chris knew it. I think Chris knew that she knew she had to call. And this was him forcing her. The one thing that went through Jane's mind, though, was the fact that if she made this call, she would decide that Chris would no longer be in their lives and that she would request for a divorce. See, Jane had gone through a lot of hardship with him, ups and downs that you wouldn't believe. Even during pregnancy, it was really, really hard. And she's not giving excuses as to, like, she couldn't live out on her own or something like that or whatever. But with 2 children and nothing and no one else to depend on, it just, for her and her mind, she wanted better for her children. She wanted a life for them. There will have to be rules when she gets there. They just can't get anything and everything they wanted. But the Ruthermeyers, her family, they're definitely people who will take her in. So Jane called. June, bring me my phone, please. She knew it. She's going to make the call. Stay tuned for the next part. You don't want to miss it. Jane is making that phone call. June is bringing the phone to her. This is the moment where things get a little bit better, or do they? Oh, we'll find out in the next episode. Stay tuned. And guys, thank you so much. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so when you'll know when I upload the next chapter, chapter 4 of June's Secret. Thank you guys so much. Until next time.